What does your 15-year-old son and your washing machine have in common? They both keep one sock. Hello, and welcome back to a show that thinks the best dad jokes are the ones that go to the store for cigarettes and never come back. Here on the PeterPod Network!
To people who don't know who I am, the show at my special. That's bullshit. Part of me really believes that. The other part is I just like pissing off people with kids, you know?
I'll tell you what. If you've seen him before, you're going to want to see him again.
Sending dispassion statement says I'm having a good fucking time!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the PeterPod Network. This is episode 28, and how the fuck did we get this far? We are here at the four-wall studio in rainy Manchester, New Hampshire, watching Florida try to swim out of what looks to be the land that Swamp Thing built. At least maybe we'll get less Florida Man news segments for at least a little bit. Though I think a lot of us know that Florida is one of those gifts that kind of keeps on giving, so I really doubt the Florida Man uses alligator as weapon in home invasion news stories probably aren't going to stop. But that is Florida, I suppose. Oh, by the way, I want to start off this week's show with a big thank you to the beautifully big-breasted Gretchen for still helping the PeterPod Network, even though she is no longer part of the staff. Good looking out. We do thank you. With that out of the way, remember to hit that subscribe button and follow us on all the major socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and on Facebook. And actually, speaking of the social media presence, those of you on Twitter are no longer the special group among the fans of the PeterPod Network, as we have begun to post daily different material that we do on Twitter. So if your sense of humor falls in line with the show, make sure to follow the PeterPod Network on Facebook now, as well as Twitter, to see a little something every weekday to brighten up your morning and make you a little less psychotic when you see your boss every day. And hopefully keep you off the news, because when you get there, you didn't end the office staff. Seriously, do not end the office staff. When you die and go to heaven and meet Betty White, she will kick the shit out of you for that one. You can write into the PeterPod Network at thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com and let us know what you think of the show so far. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't, and we want to make this show your own, so sending out an email to let us know what you want to hear only gets us closer to that goal. This week we received an email from Amber H, who writes, "Don't make fun of Scientology." And that's it. That was all the email had. Is it a threat? Is it a plea? Who the fuck knows? But what I do know is someone's going to be real pissed in about 20 minutes. Check out the archives at PeterPodNetwork.com to find all the episodes the PeterPod Network has made so far, plus songs like the recently added This One's a Liar, That One's on Drugs, which was just added to the website and, of course, YouTube. It's not the worst, certainly ain't the best, but it's there, so you might as well check it out while you're avoiding work and fucking around on your phone. Just an update on future episodes of the PeterPod Network. Today we sat down with the hashtag legend once again alongside Ringy, and we recorded another colorful and insightful interview that will be coming out in 2 weeks or so after we move on from our special two-part of Let's Do, the segment airing this week and next week, where we talk about our visit to the Scientology Center in Newmarket, New Hampshire. So stay tuned to later in the show, where we piss off Amber H, apparently, and discuss our possible B&E. And, well, offended a few people. And after a good time was had by all, we didn't so much as leave the place. It was more like a gentle escape. So catch this week's and next week's edition of Let's Do to hear the two-part tale of our trip to the land of L. Ron Hubbard. Sorry, Amber. All right, we're keeping it short this week in the beginning because, the ending's going to be a little bit lengthy. So, who's ready for a rant? Well, all right, here it comes right after this. Commercial and special message. That's right, folks, we got another commercial for you. And, the views of the council that should know better is not necessarily the same views as the PeterPod Network. Here goes.
Hey, Jeff, man, how you liking the party?
Hey, Alex, what's going on? Now, I think it'd be pretty cool if that dude over there wasn't fucking doing drugs, man. How do you let that shit happen right in the middle of your living room?
What are you talking about, man? That's just Derek. He's got diabetes. He's got to take those shots or he'll, die or something.
Come on, man. You didn't buy that old story, too. You know diabetes isn't real, right? They're just faking it so they can take drugs in the middle of everything and not get in trouble for it. Everybody knows this.
Dude, are you joking right now? Diabetes would, fucking kill you if you eat a donut at the wrong time. Seriously, man, maybe you ought to go. Or at least educate yourself, man.
Come on, man. You can't foolishly think that if people are sticking needles in themselves, that they're not doing anything but taking drugs. Doctors give you medicine, man. You know better than that.
Oh my God, did Derek just fall over? Somebody call 911. Oh my God, prop him up. No, don't try to move him. Just look. Somebody call 911.
I told you. Every year, thousands of people are deceived by those who claim to have diabetes. We here at the Foundation for Making Shit Up have decided that we have had enough. And if you, like us, believe that diabetes is nothing more than a way to hide your massive drug use that you do multiple times a day, bad you, then join us in standing up against those who feel that they can shoot up in public. If you use a needle, you're a zero. Brought to you by the Council That You Know Better. Every night I lie awake and I wonder why there's blood in the sink. There she sleeps so peacefully. I wonder if she's dreaming of killing me. The things she says in her sleep, I think she's gonna give me a home lobotomy. Sleeps with a knife almost every night, and I wonder when she's gonna take my life. Tell me, are you really crazy? What do you see in your dreams? I know now that my girlfriend's gonna kill me in her sleep. Last thing that I would need is for her to turn around and start stabbing me. What the fuck is going on in her dreams? I know my girlfriend's gonna kill me in her sleep. She's making noises that don't sound right, and I know I'm probably gonna die tonight. There's a demon in her head, and I know that motherfucker just wants to see me dead. She said I'm just being silly, but I know my girlfriend's gonna kill me in my sleep. Tell me, are you really crazy? What do you see in your dreams? I know now that my girlfriend's gonna kill me in her sleep. Tell me, are you really crazy? What do you see in your dreams? I know now that my girlfriend's gonna kill me in her sleep. Go to sleep at night, it don't feel right. I know she's gonna get me with a knife. She's fast asleep, dreamed of killing me. I know she's gonna kill me in her sleep. Tell me, are you really crazy? What do you see in your dreams? I know now that my girlfriend's gonna kill me in her sleep. What are the words to the song? I don't know, but I'll carry on, because I've got something to say. And here comes the rant of the week. Hello. Okay, so what are we talking about on this week's edition of The Rant, you ask? Well, I have been noticing something kind of random lately, and well, to all the people writing into the PeterPod network at gmail.com asking for advice on all kinds of things, what the fuck are you thinking? I am the last person you should go to for advice. My cynical dumbass will tell you to find a bridge and to shoot yourself in the middle of it, so at least the people that are stuck in traffic waiting for your body to be scraped up by a couple ambulances and the cops will remember you for at least a half hour, because apparently your parents obviously do not give two shits, as proven by the fact that you were coming to an admittedly shitty podcast host for advice on everything under the sun. Why the fuck would you think I'm qualified to give anyone advice? We here at the PeterPod Network spend our time on this show making cheap jokes and repeatedly bashing a certain used-up OnlyFans girl who seriously needs to do a critical evaluation of herself while looking into a full-body mirror. See, Does that sound like somebody you should be taking advice from? And yeah, Melissa Cody, aka Minnie Ryder, has earned everything we've shelled out, mainly because she turned herself into the town mattress, and the fact that her own family members keep emailing the PeterPod Network telling us to keep it up. I believe the quote is, "Never stop making her pay." And after using one man to cheat on a second man while married to a third man, never mind what she did to the fourth guy, plus what she's done to her own child, we can't but happily oblige. Repeatedly. Over and over again. Until we find somebody worse. Which we think will be about 5 years. Give or take. Seriously though, what kind of a piece of shit do you have to be for your own family members to help the guy who tells the world what a moral hole you are on a weekly basis? And I do want to thank her family for the encouragement and the stories they've shared. It was great to have a couple beers with the both of you. It was weird and kind of neat to be in that backyard again. And thank you for pointing me to where we would find the newspaper announcement of her marriage to the guy she repeatedly cheated on. It was the only thing we didn't directly have to prove to all the folks who wrote in wanting to see the proof of everything. So, other than our ability to call a cunt and then prove our case, what about this show makes you think any advice you receive would be anything other than an arrestable offense? Or at the very least, a reason to move out of town after you do whatever we recommended you to do? Stop asking us what to do about your exes. You've already heard what I did. I turned mine into the horse-faced mascot of this very show. Stop asking us to give you advice on your own podcasts. We love watching a train wreck way too much to trust that what we advised you to do won't catch you a sentence. And this goes out to Andrea, who's written in 2 or 3 times now with the same question. Just because I tell horrible jokes about herpes, and I may have a song or two about it, does not mean that I think you should weaponize your herpes. That was a joke I opened a show with. You are an idiot. That is why I haven't emailed you back. Melissa Cody may be the dumbest target anyone has ever taken a shot at, but you are quickly becoming another one of our back office jokes. So seriously, people, you like the jokes? That is awesome. You like some of the songs? Amazing. But maybe this microphone warrior isn't the one who should be leading you into battle. Whether it's against a person or another one of the STDs you've written into us about. I mean, really, you can't be that dumb. And I'm going to give you one more really good fucking reason why you shouldn't be asking the PeterPod Network for advice. Here's an apology to the person who wrote in asking me what they should do about open sores. I really hope you didn't actually apply vinegar to them like I suggested. For that, I am a little sorry. All right, now that I'm all good and worked up, let's get to the news. What can you hear about this fucked up town? Only on the news. Hear it on the news. Did some crackhead run out into traffic? Find out on the news. Crack is a hell of a drug. Heard it on the news. Where's my beat? Yeah. Building came in, find an alien, find out on the news. Is E.T. coming for me? Is your mother really your brother? Find out on the news. Mom, you got a lot of explaining to do. Hello, and welcome to The News. Hello, and welcome back to PPN News, episode 28. Tonight we start with Felix Cancel Jr. was, well, canceled yet again from behind state prison bars as he was sentenced to an extra 9 years in prison for coordinating and facilitating numerous drug deals and trafficking between Mexico and Connecticut. An extra 9 years, you ask? Well, that sentence begins when his current one ends in 2024. Using a contraband cell phone, crafty as shit Felix was able to work with 9 other people to smuggle fentanyl along the East Coast to his home state of Connecticut. Begging the question, if he's still doing this shit while in jail, What the fuck makes anyone think he's gonna stop when he serves his sentence and gets out? Just put the fucker away for life already. Or end him. Actually, I vote for end him. Fentanyl's a crazy way to die and way too many people are willing to find out, so why don't you just take the guy out back and waste the cost of a bullet already? The reason young Felix was in jail to begin with was because of, surprise, surprise, a massive heroin operation and money laundering scheme. I think it's time to see what leaks out of old Felix's head now. He does not get to pass go. There is no collecting $200, so let's find out what he smells like after he rides the lightning. Turn the dial until his head pops. I know they would just use lethal injection if they were to do it, but I like my way better. In other news, Patch.com is reporting that it turns out New Hampshire may finally be interesting to somebody outside of the Granite State, as a UFO was reported on Saturday 15th in Concord, New Hampshire. Witnesses described the unidentified flying object as appearing too large to be a plane with one large solid white light and two flashing red lights that moved through the sky. I've never seen anything like it, remarked Tim Cressy, one resident who saw the event. Also stating that E.T. did not stick around and say hello, or suck out our brains through our noses, or whatever aliens do. As eventually, they did move through the sky heading north away from onlookers. We should also note that witnesses also state that not too long after the large UFO had moved along, 3 helicopters were seen flying low in the same direction as the unknown aircraft, which some have taken to mean, if it lands, we're gonna kill it. And if you've ever seen Mars Attacks, well, maybe we should. Oh, and just to creep you out a little bit more, despite numerous witnesses, aviation tracking systems are reporting no UFO and no helicopters were detected in the sky on the 15th in that area. As a note to follow up with this story, Bethlehem, Concord, Kingston, Manchester, Ossipee, and Portsmouth have all had reported sightings in the last month alone, according to the Mutual UFO Network website. So get out your tinfoil hats and maybe start looking up because the infamous anal probe could be out there waiting for you. And in our final story tonight, the Big Brother and Big Sisters group has either performed some serious homophobia or has just a great sense of humor as Portsmouth, New Hampshire has followed a Pride Week with a bang, with the 2022 Stiletto Sprint on September 24th, in which runners, or more correctly sprinters, make a mad dash for 40 yards sprinting or strutting in heels the whole way. I'd like to make fun of this one, but it sounds pretty fucking hilarious all on its own. Folks from all around dress up in all manner of costume and evening wear to participate in this event meant to help raise money for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters. When I was a kid, I did have a friend that had a big brother, and I can remember him taking my friend to the bathroom quite a bit no matter where we went. I always asked and wanted to go and see what they were actually doing back there, but he would never let me. He would always just say, soon. Weird guy. Anyways, for episode 28, this has been The News. Stay tuned for the new Let's Do segment right after this. Here comes home from a date with her new friends. The one she met at the mall with the shaved heads. Over breakfast she tells us that she's gonna go away. She's getting her things, you know it means that she's gonna walk away. Yeah. She keeps on talking about some master plan. Now the only class she passes at school is German. She said that her boss is Adolf and she's gonna do what he would want. She's gonna drop out, so don't pout, cause she's gonna do it for the cause. Hey baby, why you gotta be a little Nazi? She won't stop talking about a fourth reach. She drew a mustache on her cat and salutes with her right hand. She says it's my fault that she's not from the motherland. Hey baby, why you gotta be a little Nazi? Hello and welcome to episode 28's edition of Let's Do. I talked about it last week and teased that it would be coming up the next few weeks. And thanks to a bunch of emails we received this week, we are finally telling the story of our little visit to the Scientology Center in Newmarket, New Hampshire. Thank you again to the contributor, who got the PeterPod network hooked up with our new friends in Scientology. I think they can't sue me for calling them friends. Well, live dangerously, I always say. So, a little history on this story is probably what we should begin with. 3 weeks ago, or around that time, we received an email to thepeternetwork@gmail.com from the religion cult. I personally like to call them the Tom Cruise Masturbation Circle Jerk Society, but whatever you want to call them. We were contacted by Mike, a recruiter for Scientology, because someone got jealous of the PeterPod network and wanted to fuck with us by telling them that we wanted to join and then gave them our information. Good prank, right? Well, that somebody obviously does not know anything about us, because as soon as I saw it, and well, just like we always do, we steered right into that fucking skid, and as soon as we saw that email, we immediately knew free content when we saw it. So to whoever sent them our info, I totally owe you a beer, and Will in the back says, he's seen your OnlyFans, and you owe the trans community an apology for impersonation. Anyways, we started our journey by checking their website to see if we could get a heads up as to what to expect when we get there. And oh boy, on their own website's main page, there are posts from random people saying shit like, they're a bunch of freaking lunatics. Don't go anywhere near this organization. They will destroy you and your family. And other things like, that one that gave me a bit of a pause. Don't fall for it. We never forgive. We never forget. Expect us. So immediately we knew to keep an eye out for anyone with a gun and a hard-on. So with that in mind, we went on this little adventure. And yes, I did make a milk carton with Shelly Miscavige on it. And yes, I was wearing my Tom Cruise Top Gun shirt. And yes, neither went over very well, but we'll get to that. So when you get there, right on Main Street too, I should add, so thank you for that, you find that the church looks very much like an old Episcopalian or Protestant type church from, I'd say, the Little House on the Prairie. And that threw me right the fuck off. I was expecting a glitzy, kind of stuffy, pretentious building that could never be considered anything else but a home base for the alien worshippers who have a flair for Liberace. Now, when we're approaching, there are people at the front door. And whether they were guards or just Scientologists visiting the church, I couldn't tell you. But they sure as shit were eyeballing us up and down, more than Lizzo on a steak. Remember, send your hate mail to thepeternetwork@gmail.com. Back to it, though. We're standing there right before the first step in the goddamn building, and 3 guys and 1 lady are giving us the stink eye, and it doesn't help that I wasn't smart enough to put the fucking milk carton away so I can take it out when I'm actually in there. That's just the showman in me, I guess. And we make our way up the steps while they would stare us down, and guess who has trouble opening the door? Yup, my dumbass. So I'm standing there trying to hide this very obvious, bright white, incredibly offensive milk carton, too dumb to be able to open the door, and wanting so badly to be able to rethink my decisions. And they finally tell me, oh, it opens at 9. So first, why the fuck do people do that? You will have 5 fucking people standing around a door smoking butts, or whatever, and not a single fucking person will tell you it's locked until you pulled on the handle 10 times and look like an artard doing it. Second, what kind of fucked up church do you have to be that you have locked doors at 8 in the morning on a weekend? In New Hampshire. What the Tom Cruise jumping on the couch kind of crap was going on in that church that they had to keep their own people out? And third, and more importantly back to the story, don't stand in the doorway of anything with other people while holding onto an object that is essentially the equal to a sign that says, get the hammer and nails, the troublemaker is back. I was standing there trying to quietly hide a bright white milk carton with a way too big picture of their leader's missing and presumed dead wife. And while we don't know for sure that she is dead or can actually be considered missing, you know for damn sure that a lot of people in Scientology do not want to hear that shit. And of course, I'm standing there trying to hide this thing behind my back while trying to see if I can get an interview out of this because it doesn't look like I'm going to get in. I do have to say, they did end up being nice people. They were giving me the what the fuck is going on look the whole time, but they did say hello and the normal greeting shit. But I could not get anything else out of them. Like nothing. Zilch. I got the feeling like I was talking to people who get made fun of a lot for something they really believe in, and I didn't want to piss off what could very well be an undercover cult. No, actually let me correct that. I don't want to piss off an actual cult. So we stepped off the stairs and went around the side like good little B&E artists do. And good news, gang, we didn't actually have to commit a B&E. My mother would be proud. No, we ended up going around the side, down this little road that leads to the river, and saw an open door in what I can only guess was the church offices, and decided that we should just let ourselves in. We were told in the emails, come on down, and well, what kind of invited guests would we be if we didn't come on in? I'll be honest, at this point, I ditched the milk carton. I knew that we were going to run into more people, and Will in the back agreed that we just didn't need the police report last Sunday. So, we walked the halls. Literally. It felt like being a cat burglar who carries a microphone, but onward and forward we went. Two stoned off their ass retards wandering the hallways of a church of Scientology, waiting for either A, the cops, or B, security. And I've seen Leah Remini's show. Security could very well be the one thing you really don't want. And yeah, we actually got pretty far. We didn't see where the services were, but we did get to a lobby/open room type area where we ran into our first, how you doing? And well, because of time considerations, we'll have to tell you what happened on next week's edition of Let's Do. Yeah, I just did that. Suck it. This has been episode 28's edition of Let's Do.
Da 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 da.
Let's do!
Da 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 da.
Let's do.
Da 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 da.
Let's do!
Da 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 da.
Oh shit, what are we doing again? Fuck. All right, everybody, that is our show for this week. And like I always say, thank you for checking out the PeterPod Network, episode 28. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us on all the major socials. Remember, we are doing the new daily posting on Facebook as well as Twitter to give you something to help brighten up your day. Send us an email at thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com. Let us know how we're doing, if you like it, if you don't, what you want to see. Just help us make it better by making sure we're giving you what you want. Check out the archives at PeterPodNetwork.com to check out all the full episodes, the songs, and everything else you need in order to help you pass your day while you're being miserable at work. So, for PeterPod, for Will in the back, we just want to say, enjoy your week, and we'll catch you next Monday. Now go outside and get something fucking done. You got shit to do. Now do it. Bye now.